Hello everyone, welcome back to Software Testing with Reed. In today's session, we'll be diving into programming with Python. In this video, you'll learn what Python is, write your first Python program, and understand basic Python syntax and structure. So first of all, what is Python? Python is incredibly popular programming language because of its high-level, interpreted, and beginner-friendly nature. When we say it's high level, we mean it's close to English and easy to read. It's interpreted, meaning you don't need to compile it. Python executes your code line by line, and it's beginner friendly because of its simple and clear syntax. If you haven't already installed Python and PyCharm, please watch my previous video and set up your environment. I encourage you to pause this video and open PyCharm now to code along with me. So first of all, let's create a project before we start writing our own code. So we just click on this horizontal line and click on new projects, and let's call our project as first Python program, and let's keep everything as default and create, and let's click on this window. So our project is created. It's called first Python program. Now do a right click on it and click on new and then Python file, and let's call it first Python program and hit enter. So our file is created. In our first program, we'll write or printing hello world using the print function. So how we make our Python program print hello world. So we write print and then in quotes hello world, and so you just write print hello world and just this is the icon to run your program. So just hit it, and you see we got our output which says hello world. So you can run it directly either by clicking on the run button, or you can use the shortcut which is shift plus F10. So we'll be using this run button in this tutorial for now. Now let's talk about Python syntax. So let's clean it, and we'll cover a few topics that we want, like we'll be exploring them in more detail in future videos. But today we'll be touching it superficially to get start learning with like programming in Python, because we want to start learning by programming actually. So first thing is in Python syntax is like Python runs code line by line, and typically one instruction is written per line or ran per line. So if we write print hello, and in the next line we write print welcome to Python. So it's like first this through topmost statement will be printed and then the lower one. So let's run this and see what we get. So you see we got hello and Python, welcome to Python. So this is how the code runs in Python. Now whenever we write code, we want to document it, because let's say we visit our code after 3-4 months or 6 months, we will be forgotten whatever we did and why we did. So for that in that case of scenario, uh, these commenting becomes really very helpful. So how do we comment in Python? So one way is to just put a hash in front of whatever you are writing, and you can write like prints greetings. So this is basically a comment that I wrote to document whatever code we have written here. So this code basically prints greetings, Like here we said hello, and then the next one we said welcome to Python. Now you see there is a, like I put special double quotes in around hello and welcome to Python. This is because these are considered as string in Python. So how we define or create, like sometimes we want to have like different names and we don't want to like continuously write like this. In that case scenario, you can define a string. To define a string, you just have to write like a name of the variable or a identifier, whatever you want to call it, and just give it a value. Let's say we say Ritu, and next message we want, next variable we have is message, and here we want to say in double quotes, welcome to software testing with Ri. So basically we define two separate strings, and you see in the first one we give single quotes and in the second one we give double quotes. So you can write a string either in single quote or double quote. Only thing to remember is to stay consistent with whatever you want to use. And now let's say we want to print it. So we can write print name comma message, and let's comment the upper print commands because we want to see the output of recently written, or like we define strings and two strings, name and message, and we are printing it. So let's run this. So you see we got Ritu, welcome to software testing with Ri. So these are like this is the basics of string, where you can define them by putting whatever message you want to display in between single quotes and double quotes. Now the next thing we want to cover is naming identifiers and keywords. So identifiers and keywords. So basically, any name that we give to our variable, like here we give name n- name to our string Ritu, and in the second we gave a message as a name to our string called welcome to software testing with Ri. So there is like we can only use identifiers with the name starting either with the letter like let's say letter X or Y or whatever, like let's say we use message above, uh, or we can use underscore in front of them and then write names like underscore S underscore Y or message underscore message, and they will be like it's perfectly fine if we name our identifiers like this. If we use anything else like writing 1x or 1y, so we'll get an error. Let me show you how. So let's say we call name equal to Ritu. Let's first comment this out. Yeah, name equal to Ritu, and then we write one name is equals to Ritu 1, and then write underscore name is equals to Ritu 2. So you see we got like here you see some reddish or yellowish line under the one name because it is giving an error like we cannot use identifiers with names starting with numbers. We can have only identifiers with name starting with the either letter or underscore. If we run this, we should get an error for this one name. So you see, we got like one name. We cannot have identifiers like with the a name starting with number. So this is about identifiers, identifier naming. And now is like there are a few keywords like true, false, def, if, and else. Which and there are many others, but these are some basic or while, for. These are the keywords, a few keywords that we cannot use as identifiers. Let me show you what I really mean. So, like we named our string as name as Ritu. So, if we write like true equal to Ritu, so we will get an error because we cannot name our identifier like this. So if we run, you see, we cannot use keyword name as our variable or identifier name. So this is one thing we should always remember while naming our variables or identifiers. Now let's start working with variables. Like variables are uh, databases or data types that we use to store our data for a program that we can use later. So let's say we want to declare two variables and store like value 10 in x and value 20 in y, and then we want to just print x and y. So let's run this. We should get 10 and 20. So this is how you can like here is 10 and 20, and this is how you can declare your variables and use them. Or we can like, let's say at after this point where we set x equal to 20, x equal to 10, we changed our mind and now we want to give x a value of 15, and now we print x and y again, and let's run this. So you see, now we should get 15 and 20. So this is how you can even like first give a variable any value and then you change your mind, or you did some calculation and it got updated. Or you can say like let's say y equal to x plus y, because we have already added a value of y as 20, and now we want to just add the value of x into y and then update the new value to get the new value of y. So if we run this, we should get like upgraded value of both x and y now. So this is about like uh, variable declaration and putting values into the variable and using them later. And now let's say like, let's comment this first, control backslash. And now let's say now we see how to define, like here we define variables separately in two different lines. But let's say we want to define multiple variables, and it will be like using lot of space in our programming environment, or in our screen. So we can do define or declare multiple variables like this. Let's say we want to define a, b, and c, and want to put like give them values like 5, 10, and 15. So now a gets value of 5, b gets value of 10, and c gets value of 15. And now if we print all of them, so we should get 5, 10, and 15. So you see, this is how you can declare multiple variables. And now let's say that we take the value of a and b and we want to swap it. That means we want to give value 10 to a and value b to uh, uh, value b gets 5. So we can do it. It's really very simple here in Python. So all you have to do is like a b comma b is equals to b comma a. So which basically means that we are giving value of a, storing value of b into value of a, uh, and the value of a gets into b. So now here we had like 5, 10, 15, and now if we copy and paste this, now we should get 10, 5, and 15. So you see we got 10, 5, and 15. We swapped the values of a and b. We can also do like for multiple variables, not just two variables. Let's say we copy this, and now what we want to do is like we have a, b, c, and now we want to put value of c into value of a, and then we want to put value of a into b, and let's say we want to store value of b into c. And if we run this and let's print abc, now we expect that we'll get 15, 5, and 10 as our output. So you see we got 15, 10, and 5. So this is how you can swap values, which is kind of uh, helpful in some scenarios. So now let's quickly recap what we have learned. How so we learned today is how to write and run first Python program like hello world, and then we covered basic syntax like line structure, comments, strings. We learned about a few keywords and identifiers, like how to name identifiers, and finally we learned about like assigning values to the variable and changing or assigning multiple variables, and finally how to swap their values. So practice these concepts to reinforce your understanding. Next time we'll dive deeper into loops, conditions, functions, and various data types as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, which is Software Testing with Sri, and I'll see you in the next video.